Hi, this is Jordan reporting live from the field, and if you wished for a white Christmas this year, you're a little late, pal. Get a calendar or something. If you've ever told somebody the snow's probably not that bad, I want a handwritten apology in my mailbox, like yesterday. It's freezing. Where did I put it? This is Jordan reporting live from the field, and if you wished for a white Christmas this year, look what you did, man. So, crack open a cold beverage with us. Welcome to the 1 Hour, 1 Brain Cell podcast. Welcome in. It's episode 51 of the show. And as usual, I'm joined by my co-host Richie, who was born 2 years after the release of unrelated Belgian techno anthem Pump Up the Jam.
I was wondering why you were asking about that.
I was verifying my statistics here.
My internet is ass today, y'all, so bear with us.
No.
I only have one bar. What's going on here?
Just
Jesus.
one bar? That's no good.
That's one bar. I am joined by our resident weather reporter and snowed in patient, Jordan.
Yep, I don't know what we got actually, but I think Indianapolis got like just over 7 inches of snow in the last day or something. So just winter decided to happen all at once in one day. All of winter. Having
ridiculous. Fun. No thanks. I will pass on that. And I texted you earlier today. I said, I swear that better be gone by the time I show up in a month.
I would think so. I can't make any promises, but I would think so. This batch will be gone for sure.
Yeah.
But the next batch I can't speak to. Yeah.
Well, we know, as we discussed on last week's show, we know I have a very distinct history of Chicago and weather. So,
yeah, you're the bringer of rain, as it were. So,
how going back to your intro video there, how quickly did your Red Bull get cold? Because
like I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or something. It was crazy because it's just encased in snow, and it's also below freezing outside. So the combination of those two things together is like instant. You know, like if you've ever taken like a wet paper towel and you wrap something in it in your freezer and it freezes quicker.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing, but just the whole of outside is the wet paper towel.
It reminds me of that. You go to like Bevmo or those like liquor stores, and they have those like little like things that you could. And it's like a little spinny thing with water in it that's really cold, and you can chill your beverages in there like while you're shopping.
Have you seen that's interesting. Before? We don't have those here because you're not allowed to buy cold alcoholic beverages like in convenience stores and stuff. Like you have to get it from like
but this isn't like Total Wine and Bevmo that they have these. Yeah,
we don't have Total Wine and More. You think we are? Like you can go to Kroger. You can go to Kroger and check in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to So I'm drinking today a different flavor.
What do we got? Oh, I can't read that because you have one bar.
One bar. Yeah.
Articulate.
It's called Galaxy Vibe Sparkling Strawberry Watermelon.
That might be good.
It smells like Capri Sun.
I do have news somewhat related to that. Because you know how you and I were talking about that you can't find the winter edition Red Bulls from this year anymore, the like iced vanilla.
Yeah, they're gone. They've disappeared.
They're gone. They've been gone. I emailed Red Bull. I was like, bro, when are these coming back? Can I find it? Like, can you send me a store, like something? Send me a store locator or whatever it may be. And I have intelligence for you all in this community that they said that they're restocking it nationwide at the end of the month. in whatever quantities are left. So if you've been waiting for it, it's coming. I think it's coming. They're gonna
So
do a
what you're
restock.
telling me is, when they do come back, I need to like hoard them.
I guess. I mean, it was really well received. Like our theory is like between myself and the people I've been discussing this with, which is anyone that will listen, is that the because of how gross like the peach or pear cinnamon was or whatever, or like how poorly received that was, that they just backed off on
Mm.
production. On They were like, well, nobody likes the winter one, so why would we make a billion of them? And then they accidentally made a really good flavor, and then everyone liked it, and then they were like, well, now we don't have any.
It's
So
true because like I I didn't even think about it, but until I started seeing the TikToks of other people experiencing this, but I that was like the one my Red Bull flavor on a consistent basis for a couple weeks.
mhm.
And all the stars started to have them. So like I could go to QT and QT would have it and what et cetera, et cetera. And then after a while I stopped seeing them and it took me a while to figure out that they were just completely gone. So I'm glad they're coming back. Breaking news
Mhm.
on the show. They're coming back, folks.
Breaking news. That's insider information from Red Bull,
I'm
which you
just
can get
picturing.
if you just send them a contact request.
Do you think Max Verstappen's email is max at redbullracing.com?
No, I'm sure they have something different, right? I mean, or maybe, maybe that's his like PR email. That's not his personal email.
Like his like work email, like the email he uses to communicate with the rest of his Red Bull Racing team. It's
No,
got to be
there's no
something
way.
like that.
There's no way it's like Max dot Verstappen at or at orbr.com or whatever. Like, there's no way. We'll just start emailing random people, being like, "Is this Max?"
Only one way to find out.
start try and find GP's email. That might be easier because that definitely is
uh,
something standard.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. GP at redbullracing.com. Hey, do you want to come on our show? Question mark. Sincerely
Yeah,
yours.
sincerely, big fans of the show and your energy drink and your racing team. Yeah.
So, side note, one of my favorite TikToks that we should save is for our. We were talking about this before the show. The sacred text is somebody did a Formula One. Hear me out pie.
Oh
It
yeah.
was, it was so funny. It was great.
Some of those were
One of
objectively really, really good. It was like the under investigation or like funny, very funny.
GP made it. Our
Mhm.
diva the safety car did not make it though.
That's stupid. That should have made it by far on there over Lando Norris having pole position.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, that was stupid. Keep GP on
um,
there.
One last thing about Formula One before we move on. Um, I'm gonna email the Formula One people, Ferrari, whoever I need to get in touch with. All of us are waiting for the love of goodness on hands and knees begging. Like we're in the Catholic Church, like we're in the movie Conclave.
Right, I was gonna say,
And
like you're
and we're
waiting to choose the new pope. Yeah,
and we're saying, where is the darn 2025 merch? Because I want Lewis Hamilton Ferrari merch.
nobody's
And I
dropped their
want it
lines
now.
yet. Nobody's dropped their lines yet, but it would have been really smart for them to have just some kind of release collection for January 1st.
Would have been even it's simple. I didn't even just put your 2025 sponsors on there and you're good to go. But anyway, we still have to wait like another month and a half to get there because I think the reveal is in the middle of February. So
Mhm.
we got a bit longer to go. With
Yep.
that silly F1 debut show where they gave all the tickets to influencers and
Yeah, where it's literally like more than 70% influencers. That's
you know
insane.
the you know you know the drivers are gonna hate that like so much.
Yeah, and the cars aren't even gonna be there from what I heard. It's just like photos of what they're gonna look like or like a PowerPoint. It's better not just be like PowerPoint presentation.
That's so
Like,
stupid.
come on. Come on. All right.
All right, we should
Well,
move
yeah,
on.
we've been busy. We've been busy over analyzing all the looks from the Golden Globes. We've been busy. Richie's been busy. Richie's been busy watching movies and also reading books. Um, it's been a busy like start to 2025. We're being productive in 2025.
I'm
Um,
trying to be, yes.
hey, we're starting off strong, so let's just keep that energy. I'm gonna go in order here because I would like to know your thoughts on this first. What did you think of the cinematic masterpiece that is Twilight?
Okay, so I am, as of recording, this is Monday, January 6th. I've watched the first two movies in the series. There's three more to go, which I did not know there were that many. I thought there were four.
Mhm.
I thought it was like a book trilogy, and then they like Harry Potter, and then they turned the last book into two movies. So I thought it was only
Uh-huh.
going to be four movies long, and that was it. Turns out, no, there's an entire extra story to tell. So there's five of these damn movies. Now, one of my goals for this year is to at least get, so I was about 160 or so movies in 2024. I want to get that over 200 this year, if not more. So, and so far, we're 5 days in. I've watched four, I think. So we're
You're on
four,
pace. Okay.
almost a movie a night, which is great. So I'm going to watch all five of these damn movies, whether I like it or not. And I will tell you, I do not like them.
You don't like
Because
it.
yeah. Because we had talked about, what's scarier, vampires or zombies. You can add werewolves to that list too, I guess. And I swear to you, as we previously talked about, vampires are cool, werewolves are cool. How hard is it to make vampires and werewolves be boring? It's like these movies are so boring, dude. They have no riz. There's just nothing interesting about them. It's just, why were they so popular? What?
Because that was
I
what
don't get it.
existed at the time. No, that was what existed at the time, right? Like you and you're watching this from a very different lens because you actually like care about, I don't know, being a film critic. Uh, but people who
I
watch like,
don't know about that, but
okay, hear me out, hear me out. People who
putting on the cake.
GP, um, people who are watching Nosferatu today, but like the 1920s one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are having a very different experience than people who watched Nosferatu in the 1920s. It's boring to us now because it's a silent film and it's not all that scary, and but that was what they had at the time, right? You watch The Exorcist. I think I've talked about this on previous episodes, but like
Mm-hmm.
you watch the original Exorcist today, you're like, this wasn't that scary, but it was terrifying when it first came out because people hadn't seen anything like it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we had at the time. It's not good. It's objectively not good. But that was in the time that we had like Divergent and the Hunger Games and Twilight. Like we
Yeah,
had these book
it was young
franchises
adult. Yeah,
existing,
yeah.
yeah, simultaneously. It was what it was. They did what they did, and what they did was just put a blue filter over everything and call it quits. But
Well, but yeah, my problem is even with like the filmmaking itself, which is like perfectly, whatever. It's fine. Like, it doesn't bother me. Whatever. It's a story that every good movie starts with a good story and characters you actually give a crap about. And I will tell you, I don't care about any of the characters in these movies.
no, I didn't care either. But it was a moment. It was a moment in pop culture, which I think is what I
There's a
texted
moment
you.
in
It's like
time,
it's a
and I don't.
it's a
Let's see.
moment
Okay.
in time.
Yes, let me see how much these movies made. Okay, here we go.
A lot, probably.
Twilight. How how much? Okay, I can't type today. How much did Twilight? How much did Wiccan make? That's not what I want.
I'm kind of
How
interested,
much did
but okay.
Twilight? Okay, the Twilight movie series made approximately $400 million at the box office,
Four
which
hundred
really isn't that
million.
much for five
Yeah.
movies. Oh
Okay.
whoa,
Twilight.
no, that's not right. What the hell? Never stop. No, I read the wrong thing. This is the stupid Google AI. The entire Twilight saga grossed 3.3 billion globally.
The first movie made 400 million.
Yes.
So what
Correct.
was its budget? 2008 Twilight, its budget was 37 million. So they made a lot.
Oh, so that was like a small budget movie. Jeez. $37 million.
It was just less than Agatha All Along at 40 million.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway,
Finding a
yeah,
reason
so
to put that in there.
I wanted to I was curious. I never watched them and I was bored and I was like, all right, well, should I? And then I was asking around. I asked people and I was like, hey, should I watch these movies? And they're like, they're not great, but you should watch them. Um, so I'm getting there. I'll end up finishing the next three and just hate every single second of it. And want to turn the movie off, but I'm in it now. I'm too in deep. I can't quit now, you know? I
Did you
can't
read all the
quit.
books?
No, no.
Just
Remember who you talking
okay.
to.
Okay, that's fair. But like just wait until they get to Renesmee. Just wait.
Okay, I will put
Just
that down in my book. It's so funny. Actually, we were talking about this last week. We were at Mellow Fridays, as we do, and Corey was like, "Richie, do you want to know how the movie's in?" I was like, "I mean, I don't really care. They've been out for 15 years," and so she had me earmuff. She had me earmuff, so I couldn't
that's so funny.
while she explained the ending to these movies. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. God help me. I'm gonna need a really good movie at the back end of this, which is so this comes out on Friday. By the time y'all see this, I will have seen The Brutalist because I think I'm gonna go see The Brutalist on Thursday because
Oh,
it's
okay.
finally coming out here in Phoenix. So I'm in it all 3.5 hours with intermission. Let's go. Come on.
Can we make movies shorter in 2025, please? Like, not everything needs to be 3 hours.
Well, okay. You know what movie won Best Picture last year? That was 3 hours.
Honestly, I forget. Oh
Uh,
no. Oh no. No, it was, wasn't it?
yes, it
Fine.
was.
Whatever. I'm going to see Interstellar. I'm getting my makeup screening of Interstellar next week on this coming
Oh,
week on
sweet.
Sunday. Yeah,
Nice.
and they put everybody in the same seats, which is great because I was like kind of protective over the seat that I chose because it was like, 2/3 back in the middle, you're like I would
You said you're in the Christopher Nolan seat.
yeah, I was really digging hard to try and get a good seat there. So that'll be on Sunday for me. So just after this comes
I'm
out.
excited. I'm so glad they made that work for you because, like we talked about, like it's just it is the experience is just is 10 out of 10. Simply lovely,
Yep.
as Max would say.
I'm excited. And I'll be up to 4 movies. I'll be up to 4 movies this year by the end of the week.
Wow, that's
Right.
we're getting
Right.
there.
I'm tracking well. I'm not checking anything off of my to watch list though, which is the problem. I just keep finding new things to watch. It's fine.
That's
What
true.
did
If you
we
check
get?
Jordan's letterbox, she spent like a little bit last week adding like 25 movies to the watch list,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah,
was
and you
like,
texted
"There's
me. You're
no way
like,
you're
"Girl, you
getting through
better
all
get
these."
going." It's like, "Wait a minute. I could watch 25 movies in a year. Come on. I'm not like one a day like you are." But I'll make some progress here. One of the things I did watch was the new, hotly anticipated Cunk on Life. Um, Excellent. It's excellent. It's very good. It's also long. It's like
Yeah,
an hour and a half.
I love Philomena Kunk. We've talked about Philomena Kunk on this show before.
We do. We love her. I feel
Sure.
like she's like a spiritual, which was more culturally significant, the Renaissance or this one was New York cheese balls, man. But all of it is so good. It's hard to believe I'm walking through the ruins of the first ever city because I'm not. That's in Iraq, which is miles away.
Diane Morgan is just terrific.
There
I
was
haven't
there
seen
was the
it yet.
letterboxed review. There's the letterboxed review I sent you, which is that
Yeah.
somebody they didn't leave a star rating. I think they just left a like, but somebody on Letterboxd said that they watched it at the premiere with Diane Morgan sitting behind them laughing at all her own jokes, which feels like an immaculate experience, really. Like can we pay to be on that guest list for that next time?
Right. Right. But
Yeah,
anyway, so I don't
it's
have
great.
Netflix. I don't have Netflix, which is where it's on. So I have to find a way to pirate it somehow. I think. Don't do that. That's illegal. You can't do that.
Don't
So
do
no,
that.
no, I'm not gonna pirate it. No, no.
You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't crate train a dachshund, which is what I learned watching Emily the Criminal. That was on a flight. And then on my flight on the way out, I watched His Three Daughters with Elizabeth Olsen and Carrie Coon and Natasha Lyonne. And I rated both of those 4 stars. They were good. They were rewatchable. They were dramatic. So they were not like a, fun, like casual movie night rewatch. Was like His Three Daughters you probably shouldn't watch the ending of in public unless you're insane like me. The other one is fine. The other one was fine, but it's no Carry On, right? That's not just like that's not a casual watch with friends. It's also not Schindler's List as we talked about last week, but
That's right, right.
It's up there. It's a little bit of a heartbreaker. What else you got?
I'll probably not be watching any of those movies, but that's okay.
Oh, great. Well, they're on Netflix anyway, so have fun. But it's just because I could download it and watch it on airplane, because none of the airplane options were very attractive. They didn't really have anything new or good. I don't think. No Conclave. Conclave had a $20 million budget. I googled it while we were doing this.
And you can tell that was $20
You can tell. You're like, you had access to one area and you were going to make it work. Yeah. All right. Where do you want to go next? Let's talk about your Goodreads while we're tracking things for this year. Let's talk about Richie's Goodreads so we can make him keep up on that.
Okay, so I did actually I did make a Goodreads account this week. So we are attempting to read more books this year. I don't know what that's going to look like or entail, but the great thing is the Phoenix Public Library, because here's the thing, part of the reason why I don't read a lot is because books are expensive, dude. They're like $30 a piece. Like, for something I'm going to read one time, probably not the greatest in the world. So thank you, Phoenix Public Library, for existing. And so I can read books through them. I already have some books lined up that I'm going to read in the interceding weeks and months. I'm currently, they also have you can download audiobooks through the library too, which is great. So I've been listening to this week the book called Racing with Rich Energy, which was written by Alanis King and Elizabeth Blackstock. It's about Rich Energy, which is a former sponsor to the Haas team in Formula One. And it's like a deep dive into their entire history and how and their CEO and his mysterious background and and how they managed to get themselves into Formula One despite being the shadiest business of all time.
No.
and they ended up sponsoring Haas for several months in the 2019 season. So that's what this book is about. I'm 3 hours into it. It's so wild, man. It is so many times they'll get into these stories. I'm like, what?
I might need to read that.
Most of which is, I think you'd like it. It's really interesting. And some of it is it's so weird to me that this company is it's still around allegedly somehow. If you Google, they're still around. And apparently you can still buy Rich Energy drinks. Which is insane.
It's like Long John Silver's. It's definitely a money laundering front because I've never seen a person at a Long John. There was a person in the Long John Silver's drive-through the other day. The drive-through. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're money laundering. It's Mattress Firm.
Right.
You ever seen a person in a mattress store buying a mattress?
No.
Yeah. How are they in business? It's a front for something. How are they in business? Rich Energy is
exactly. So that's what Rich Energy is as well. And the two writers they were we reached out to all these people that were involved at one time with Rich Energy as allegedly as like, brand ambassadors, whatever. And like, I find it so wild that like none of them responded and like none of them were willing to speak on the record about
Yeah, they know
about
something.
them and their involvement. And I was like, that's weird, dude. That's weird. So I'm working my way through it. I'm about a third of the way through. And it's really good. Chapter I'm on now is going through the history of shady sponsorship in motorsports in general
Okay.
and ownership, and it's that was also really fun to hear and to listen to and learn about. And they were like, yeah, back in like the early late 80s and early 90s, there were multiple money laundering schemes happening in the garages of sports car racing. I was like, what?
Mm,
Like there's dude
no.
who's like they were explaining how like dudes would come through with like barrels of cash to like exchange for drug money. And one of the guys literally got arrested in the paddock. It's like, man,
What a moment. What a moment.
there's a Saudi prince that's not a prince involved at one point in Formula One. Like,
Oh, that's like one of those email scams. That's like the
yes,
Nigerian
yes,
prince that like needs your credit card
yes, that's exactly
information.
what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful.
Anyway, so highly recommend checking it out. I have a couple other Formula One books. I sent you that TikTok where it's like somebody like went through
Yeah.
and was like
I do
recommending
wanna
books
I
to
wanna
read.
read the Nui book, the How to Build a Car.
Ah, yeah. I feel like that might be too technical for me, but
Well, I feel like it's probably not like literally how to build a car. It's probably just like his experiences in F1,
oh,
right? Like
experience. Yeah, yeah.
you wouldn't put the instructions in there.
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
Adrian Newey actually shows up as a character in the book. They don't talk to him, but they explain that like his first job in Formula One was with one of these like shady ass ownership groups that ended up
Oh, that's
folding
wild.
after a year.
That's
And
wild.
he was like, yeah, I left because I knew it was a joke and it was going nowhere.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. You never know.
So anyway,
What a
so
time.
my question to you is over under
Mhm.
how many books am I going to put on my Goodreads by the end of 2025? For
How many are you
reference,
gonna
last year I think I
finish?
got through 3. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we gotta set the line at like 8, maybe. Maybe 10.
That's
Maybe 10, but I feel like we could set the line at like 8.
8 is very fair. It is
I think
very
you'll I
fair.
think you'll
Besides, I
cover
like
8. I don't think that you'll go over 8. But if you do, it would be a good surprise. But not my here's my thought process is that if you have those the goal of your letterboxed and the goal of your Goodreads happening simultaneously, I don't think
mhm.
there's enough time that you're going to be able to execute both of those. And I know that you're more committed to the movie thing than you are to the book thing.
That's so true. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, that's the thing.
That's
It's
where I'm
like
coming from.
I only read books that I know I'm going to be interested in, which is strictly for the most part nonfiction, and
Like
it's always on topics that I'm
biography.
interested in
Yeah.
learning about or reading. And so I have a couple books lined up that I want to get around to. One is a book from Chris Hayes from MSNBC hosts. Read his last couple of books. They were both really interesting. It's about attention spans. So I want to read that. And then there's another
It would
one
be awful if
about
you
it's a
didn't get through the book about attention spans.
right.
Just like objectively, that's not a good look.
Exactly. um, and then the second one is it's one of the I think it's called The Formula. I think that's what it's called. And it's like a kind of like a um, history of Formula One type thing that I want to read as
Okay.
well.
Just don't be getting into the self-help stuff.
No, absolutely not. No, are you
Don't be getting
kidding
into
me?
that on me. Don't stay away. That's a big
No,
market
I'm gonna
though.
read.
That's a big market.
It is. I'm gonna read the Oppenheimer book a second time.
A second time, just watch the damn movie at that point.
Okay.
I know. Just put your Blu-ray in and watch the movie again. Just be done with that.
All 29 hours worth of an audiobook. Terrific though.
No,
Great
yeah.
book.
That makes the 3-hour film seem worth it. Not dogging on books, because sometimes the books are better than the movies.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes the movies are better than the books. Or it's the book condensed, which is like
Right.
fine.
Right.
Okay. Where do we want to go? Do we want to go Golden Globes? You
Sure.
have the pieces assembled.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about some looks, because as we've established here on this show, Richie and I are very qualified to talk about fashion on the red carpet. Being two best dressed individuals ourselves, we're very qualified. So we've pulled some of our favorite looks from last night.
Yes. Okay, let's see if this works because my internet's kind of screwy. So hopefully you will be able to see this. Okay, here we go. This is look number one.
There we go. It's a look. It's a look. It's a bold look. I love the contrast between the darker top and the skirt, and then the belt ties it together because it's got a little bit of both. It's a good look. Her glam bot was amazing. This is Mother Han.
This is Catherine Hahn, of course. Now this has got the gold in there because it is the Golden Globes. Oh, look at that, zoomed in. Look at
Oh,
that.
there you go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There we
It's the gold belt buckle, the gold accessories. That was well done.
Yep. Because the Golden Globes. I love the little. I didn't notice this last night, but it's got the little like. I don't know what that on the sleeves there. It's very
Like the
witchy
little
sleeves.
floral. Yeah, a little bit of a tribute there. You know, I
And
looked it
then
up. She's only the fourth actor or actress from a Marvel Studios property to be nominated for a Golden Globe. She didn't win, unfortunately, but she is a winner in our hearts.
Oh, do you have the list of the others? Because we can probably try and name the others. Elizabeth Olsen is one of them for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I believe Lupita Nyong'o might have been one.
Chadwick Boseman, maybe for
Maybe.
Black Panther.
Hold on. Marvel Golden Globes nominees. Hold on.
And then like maybe
Or
Robert Downey
Marvel
Jr.
actor.
for
Okay, hold
Endgame.
on. Catherine Hahn, Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany, and Angela Bassett.
Oh, Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett won, I think.
Angela Bassett did win. Yep.
Angela Bassett did the
Elizabeth
thing.
Olsen and Paul. She did the thing. Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany were nominated for WandaVision, and Angela Bassett did win for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
That's right. That's right. So I did
It was
not
a
do
great
well
role.
in picking that. Yeah. Okay. Next. We got. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the right one. Oh, here we go.
We should also shout out the fact that was like the second award of the night to be presented. So I just like turned it on and got to go to bed. You're like, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's so true. Next up, we have Zendaya.
Ooh. We have Zendaya's engagement ring.
Engagement ring, which TMZ had as they are reportedly engaged. However, she was like being very, very coy about it. I saw something on the internet.
In general, they've been very hush hush about details. But I feel like that's legit. There's this picture of her and Io interacting, and like Io's face is like, bro, that's a rock.
Right.
Like that feels like they're engaged. So, you know, whenever they decide to announce that on their own time, yeah, congratulations. That's great.
I wish we could play the greatest part of their relationship, which is the Tom Holland umbrella from
the lip sync battle.
We'll get.
You know what? I saw somebody talking about that the other day that was like, for how good Zendaya's Bruno Mars was, like on almost any other episode of that show, she would have taken it. And I agree. But it just so happens that Tom Holland decided to rock out there in that wig and that outfit and do the umbrella choreography, and you didn't have a chance. You didn't have a prayer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every time that pops on my timeline, I watch it. It's like I have to watch that.
I saw somebody doing the choreography outside of a CVS in New York on my TikTok. Like hands on the pavement, like full send.
Incredible.
Mm.
Speaking of Iowa Debris, shout out because she
Io.
really spectacularly managed to pull off the look inspired by Julia Roberts and the suit and the golden tie. So
Mm-hmm.
that was it. That was also a great look.
Yeah,
What the
that
hell
one's
is that?
excellent.
People's horoscope. Wait a minute. Hold on.
You're getting a
You won't
pop-up.
miss, you won't want to miss your weekly horoscope from People's resident astrologer, plus the biggest stories and sales with our People News and Shopping newsletter.
Do not sign us up
Oh.
for that. I don't want that. I manage the email account. I don't want that.
That's too funny. All right, let's see. Who else do we got on the list here? Oh, we
We got
got
a couple more.
maybe the maybe one of the best moments of the evening was when we got a win for Demi Moore for the
Mm-hmm.
substance. There she is there.
We did.
Um giving off she had maybe the best speech of the night too. She had a great speech.
I agree with that.
Um
I agree.
she very well deserved award. I'm glad she won. You know, I love The Substance quite a bit. It was still it was one of my top movies of the year. So she 100% deserved that, and
Mhm.
I'm glad she won. It was like, suck it, you losers! I'm not a popcorn actress anymore.
Yeah, it
It was
was,
great.
and
She
it
didn't
was fun
exactly
watching
say that.
her do an award presentation with Margaret Qualley, and
Yeah.
then yeah, just basically kind of sum up the message of the film in her speech. That was really well done, and also
hmm
great look from her. Great look, very
Yes.
golden, very Art Deco. She looks like an award.
Yes. That's a good one. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Uh, let's see. Who else do we have? Okay, here we go. We have a couple of the fellas to get to here.
we
So,
have some of the fellows for
um,
sure.
yeah, I believe when we talked about the Met Gala last year, we talked about Coleman Domingo.
We
Like
did.
he was one of my favorites from that, and pulling off a great look here as well. With the I don't know what you call that. It's not even a
It's
tie, but like
I mean, it's sort of a bow tie, but it's very oversized. But I love
yes,
it. It's a great accessory.
yeah.
He is. He's
So
not afraid to go bold with his looks and his accessories, and is usually like pulling off the risk. Some people, you know,
yes.
they take a risk and it doesn't really hit. He's pulling it off.
hmm and then finally, we have my favorite um, social post of the day, which is this post from Anne Hathaway, where she put up a picture of Jeremy Strong looking great in his like corduroy green with a
Hmm.
bucket hat and his
With the matching corduroy green bucket hat and the turtleneck.
yes. And Anne Hathaway said, "Sweetheart, I'm not mad you borrowed it, but I didn't totally realize you were going to change the cool. Anyway, not important. Congrats on your well-deserved award for the well-deserved award now for the Apprentice." And there's Anne Hathaway from
From the Princess Diaries in
Princess
that
Diaries.
look.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. So I saw somebody say that Jeremy Strong, like if that outfit was purple, it would have been like 2008 Justin Bieber singing One Less Lonely Girl. I agree. I agree. That's well done.
Mhm. And that concludes our 2025 Golden Globes recap.
Mhm. Yeah, we didn't really we weren't here for the awards or anything. We were just here for the fashion.
The
Which is the
Lukes,
same
the
reason we
Lukes,
watched the Met red carpet. We were just there for the fashion and to make fun of
exactly.
people that did it wrong. Yeah.
Oh, Sebastian Stan did win for like best supporting actor, so good for him.
Mhm.
Speaking of MCU actors to do well, um, so shout out to him for winning. He deserves it. I'm glad he's doing great this year in terms of his acting. So that was cool. Did not expect Amelia Perez to win for best musical
I don't
picture.
think a
That
lot
was
of
kind of
people
wild.
did. Yeah.
Even though I will defend Amelia Perez, I like that movie.
You liked it. I remember
I
you liking that one.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I still do, and I will defend it. Albeit all the outside um talk about it, which I tend to agree with for like, a lot of it, but that doesn't make the movie any less interesting or good to me. Like I was able to watch the movie as a movie itself and really enjoy it for the 2 hours and really appreciate how weird and interesting it was. Anyway, so we talked about that a while back. But Amelia Perez won the Brulist
Mhm.
one for best picture as well. And
I saw a
then
lot of memes of Ariana and Cynthia interacting.
yeah,
Just a lot. I feel like those two are constant trouble for press and PR.
mm-hmm.
We also got
Right.
Catherine Hahn being shady about the existence of a season 2 again, yet again, being
She's
she
a
knows
terrible
something.
liar.
She
She's a
knows
terrible
something.
liar.
She was making up a lie. Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, we know. We know.
It's coming home. Season 2, it's coming home.
It's coming home. It's coming home. Also, real quickly, I thought it was really nice that Brady Corbet, when he won for Best Director, made sure to remember Jeff Baena and give his condolences to Aubrey Plaza. I thought that was really cool
Mhm.
too.
That was really
So,
nice. Yeah,
mhm,
she was supposed to present, and well done by him and others for recognizing that, and
mhm.
that she couldn't be a part of it. But what else we got? Can you explain that meme, or is it not safe to tell on the podcast? There's a
I
meme
can.
that's been making the rounds this week of Nicole Kidman in the movie Babygirl, which is maybe not safe for work, but Richie said he got the explanation, but I'm unfamiliar. I don't know if it can be shared.
Well, it's kind of a spoiler for the movie.
Well, we'll just tag it.
Oh, okay. We can tag a
I'm not
spoiler.
going to see it. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
we'll
not
just
gonna watch.
timestamp it.
I'm not gonna watch it either. Okay,
Yeah, we'll tag it.
let me show what we're dealing with here. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, so this has been going around this week, and I wanted to know. This is my main question to Corey, who saw this movie, so we didn't have to this week. I was like, what is the point of this picture of Nicole Kidman just straight up face first into a corner?
She looks like the Babadook, but like a bad version of the Babadook.
Anyway, so that's shot straight out of a horror movie. It's not. It's from the movie Babygirl. So I will read to you word for word what Corey texted me, and
Okay.
we can edit out what what you see fit, I guess.
Okay.
Um,
It's
okay,
fine
so
as long as the content is not
no, it's it's
you
fairly
got it.
safe. I'd say.
You
I'd
got it.
say. Okay, here we go.
I know you know what you're doing.
Okay, so her intern tells her to meet him at this seedy hotel, and when she gets there, he starts to try to tell her what to do. And when she gets all embarrassed and refuses to, he eventually walks her over into the corner and tells her to stand there and stare at the wall. And then he sits down on the couch and starts going over what kind of things she wants and he wants. He assumes she wants to be told what to do, but is too embarrassed to do it. So the wall is supposed to be a safe spot, but is also like putting a kid in timeout for not listening to him, type of thing. Then it proceeds to get even weirder from there.
This is like for anybody who's unfamiliar with the context and like this I feel is an important disclaimer. If you're thinking about going to see that movie because it has Nicole Kidman in it, or you're just be aware that I think it's like 50 Shades of Grey. Just like be aware. Don't take your family to this. Don't take your elderly relatives. Don't watch it with mom and dad. Don't yeah. Like yeah. So that for context. That's why we were concerned about what we could and couldn't disclose.
Yeah, no, this isn't like
Um
a silly rom com. That's not what this
no,
movie is.
this is not family. This isn't even Saltburn. This is not family friendly.
No.
As far as I've been told, this is not family friendly. And it's even less family friendly. I think you could agree with me on this. I don't know anything about it, but I believe it's less family friendly than the ending of Nosferatu.
Yeah, people have been talking about that, how uncomfortable it was to watch Nosferatu with their parents. I didn't think
You
that
know
was
what's
the
gonna
case.
happen the
Like,
whole time?
yeah.
It's a Dracula movie. Anyway, don't take your elderly relatives to see this. It's not fun and lighthearted.
It is not.
Just if you don't believe me, just when you look up the genre of the film, if you go to like buy tickets, just tell me what that says on your screen, please. You'll change your mind. Because I almost did. I was like, well, people have been talking about the Babaratu double feature, which I haven't been able to see because last week I had to work on a Sunday. This week, winter happened all at once, and there's like 7 inches of snow outside, so that's not happening either. But that's now that the double feature is definitely not happening for me, but maybe still Nosferatu at some point in time. We'll see.
I will drag you to the theater to go watch Nosferatu if you haven't seen it by the time.
I mean, at the very
I get to
least, I'm
town.
gonna have seen it when it comes out on streaming or whatever. I almost said screaming, which like I guess makes sense, but on streaming platforms. Got it. Yep. What else we got? What do we got on the list? I closed it accidentally, so you're in charge now.
Oh, geez. Well, you sent me pictures that you made some new animal friends over the weekend.
I did, yes. We went. Well, it was a work trip, but on the back end of the work trip, they let 90 people, close to 90 people, loose in Tampa, Florida. Sounds great, right? So they dropped 2 buses worth off at Busch Gardens, which is an amusement park that has primarily roller coasters and good ones too. Like some of the tallest and fastest in the United States or in North America or whatever. And if you weren't going, you were free to peace out wherever in the area, and then just because you had to buy a ticket on your own, you had to pay your own way. It wasn't like paid for. So some people were like, it's a little steep, it's a little expensive, which it was. I'll say it was a little steep. But some people pieced out and went shopping or went to the beach or whatever. It was kind of cold. It was like maybe 63 that day, so it wasn't like a great beach day. But if you were desperate to be near the water, I guess you could have done that. So circling back, Busch Gardens has roller coasters. It also has animals. And there's like sort of a nature preservation and conservation and like an effort to, it's not a zoo per se, but it's like to make people aware of animal conservation efforts and different species and things like that. And they had some lions. They had one female lion. I don't know if they had a male lion. Didn't see him if he existed. Max was not present. There were a couple of elephants. There were some elephants doing tricks, which was fun. Like they would like shake their ears or like snort, and use their like trunk and pick things up off the ground, which was kind of cool. Like if you've never seen that, you could feed giraffes. I didn't do it, but you could. I've done that before. The tongue is really gross. Just like I'm not gonna go into detail on that because that might be worse than trying to explain Babygirl. There were some chimpanzees and some gorillas, and it was really funny. One of the chimps like came straight up to the glass and was like fascinated with this little kid that was like standing right there because they were like roughly the same size. Like when the chimp was like crouched down and was literally just standing there like staring at this kid through the glass. It's like if there wasn't like this thick of like bulletproof glass, in between the people and the enclosure, like I would be a little worried for that child. But it's like, oh, it's so cute. I'm like, don't. Okay, just so we're aware of the risk. That was fun though. There were some flamingos. The roller coasters were great. It turns out you can get on a lot of rides if you go by yourself and do things by yourself. So I was just tacking onto the back of like these 3-person families all day. I was like, what's up? I know you don't know me and I don't know you, but I'm part of your family for the next 2 minutes. We're going on this adventure together. And there was one ride that the line said it was 2 hours long. It was not. It was only about an hour, which was good. But I was like, first of all, I didn't know anything about this theme park, so I was just taking advice from some of the kids that had been there before. I was like, what do I need to do? What do I need to skip? And so I was in line for this, and the family in front of me was primarily Spanish speaking, and the family behind me was from Brazil, so they were Portuguese speaking, but like Brazilian Portuguese. Right. And I was standing there between them here it just picking up bits and pieces of both the front and the back of conversations happening simultaneously, and it was like frying my brain because I was in line for an hour and I was just understanding a little bit of each of those things. And I like got out of line. I was like, I need to talk to a person. It's like I forgot what language sounds like because I've been just desperately trying to process something for the last 60 minutes. Uh, it wasn't even that great of a roller coaster, but it was a fun line experience. Um, I did get dragged along by the children to a couple of rides. They're fun. It's more fun to go through the line with somebody, but you get a lot more done if you go by yourself. So that's the trade-off. That's the trade-off. I ate some chicken tenders and went on a really tall one. And I like was FaceTiming my parents. I was like, cool, I'm about to go lose this lunch real quick. Talk to you in a bit. Oh, I did not. It was perfectly safe, but it was I don't know what number it is. Let's see. It's one of like the top 50 tallest or fastest or whatever in North America, maybe in the world. There's like at least 2 or 3 of them there that are on that list. So it was fun. And I got paid to do it.
Even better.
Even better.
If I ever make it out there, I'll try and go. I've always wanted to go to like Six Flags and do some of the
Six
roller
Flags,
coasters.
like Magic Mountain's fun. I went, I don't know how many years ago. I was younger. There's a couple that are closer out here. One is called Kings Island, which is in Ohio somewhere, and then there's one called Cedar Point, which I've been to.
Cedar Point is one I've heard of. Yeah,
twice, 3 times maybe. We used to have a hockey camp that if you didn't make the national camp, this was like the secondary camp, and they would sometimes call people up from that camp to like go to the national ones. But this one they had us at Kent State University in Ohio, and we boarded in the dorms over the summer for like a week. And it was a really, really hard camp. And then at the end, that was your reward for finishing, was like they take you to Cedar Point and just let like 150 kids loose there. And you have to like check in at certain times throughout the day because they're like, we will lose people. But that one was really, really fun. That's got some legit roller coasters. Right. That one's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll put it on my list.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Disneyland. Disneyland's on there.
Disneyland's on there. Magic Mountain's on there. Yeah. We'll start building. Maybe that'll be next year. Once you're finished with your Letterboxd project and your Goodreads project, we can get you on the amusement park project. We'll start knocking things off.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Goodreads, Letterboxd, sim racing setup.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that one. That's definitely in the
work
works.
In progress.
Is that in the works? What are you looking at?
Work in progress.
Have you decided on a direct drive wheel? Like you really wanted a DD wheel?
I think so. I think that's where we're going. I think so, because not like the full on ones, because a lot of them don't have PlayStation compatibility. So that's part of the problem. Is a lot of them are built for PCs, and which is great, but I don't want to spend another $1,000 on a gaming PC, right? So, it's not that serious, right? It's not that serious. If it's just you and me and our silly asses trying to drive a Mercedes around Spa without crashing, you know?
Well, we failed that miserably, so.
Yes, that's so true. So we're getting there. I think I kind of figured out what I'm going to end up getting at some point in the near future. Just depends on rearranging some funds around. I did get some extra Amazon gift card money, which is great. So that's going to help to go towards the what's it called? The actual like rig itself.
Oh, your cockpit?
Yeah, exactly. So that's I can pay for most of that, and so that way I can maybe afford to go spend a little bit more on a wheel. So I sent you what I was thinking about getting. I think last week or something. I sent you the one I was zeroing in on from Thrustmaster. So that's getting seemingly decent, okay reviews. Like, and again, I'm not trying to become Jarno Oatmeer over here. I'm not trying to become a world champion. So
Right.
um so yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Should be fun. Be cool. I'm
Yeah.
excited to get going at some point.
Excited to save your thumb from having calluses from trying to keep
Oh,
up.
dude, yeah, it was so bad for a while there. Like it was just, yeah, it was rough, especially on those days when like we played for. We had that one day where we played for like 6 hours straight.
We did like 3 or 4 races and all the practice sessions and stuff. It was like, whoa. Like the
And somehow
shadow of
my
your
hands
hand
held
is
out.
like Count Orlok.
Exactly.
Those have been sending me,
Exactly.
by the way. I know I've been sending you all
Mhm.
those TikToks, but it's the people with putting the shadows on the wall. It's like, oh, I think we should do that next week. I think we should do like a TikTok tribute episode just in case we lose the sacred texts.
Yes. Yes. I agree. I agree. I agree. I don't think I really got anything else. So
Neither do I. Neither do I. Oh, I just heard noises outside, like it's that meme that I sent you. It was like a penguin or something. I'll repost it on the brand account, but it was like when you're trying to listen to your girl explain something and you hear airplane noises or you hear a helicopter. I sent it to you and it was like me hearing noises while recording the podcast.
it just happened. It just happened.
It
There's some good ones. So the other one too that was really funny that I sent you was the two cats. One was Aquarius and one was Sagittarius. And it was
Mm-hmm.
the perfect encapsulation
Mm-hmm.
of this podcast, really.
It really was. It was like the Sagittarius cat had its like paw over the other one's mouth. It was like you trying to get me to stop yapping. Me expressly learning the phrase in Portuguese so I could use it on you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we
All right.
can say goodbye to the people now.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough of that. Okay.
Go play in the snow. Are you gonna go do snow angels?
I don't think so, honestly, but I
That's
might
the one thing
see.
I will. Yeah, that's the one thing I for snow purposes. I don't like the snow. I don't like the cold. But doing snow angels seems fun.
I do think it would be fun. They've made a pretty good dent, I think, on the parking lot and stuff. So we'll see. I might be able to do a little sledding down the hill. My issue sledding, right? It was like, ladies and gentlemen, if you live somewhere like I am that's currently in the winter wonderland, don't let not having a sled impede you from going sledding. Just pick an item. Pick a laundry basket, pick a cardboard box, pick a dinner plate that your mom's not using that's like large. Get a crock pot lid. Get something, like don't let that stop you. Anything can be a sled if you're brave enough. Even your own body. Words of wisdom to end the podcast here. So we'll see. All right. We are 1 hour, one brain cell. Thank you so much for joining us for another hour of unsolicited nonsense. We are at OHOBC Pod on all of your socials, including TikTok for now, before we lose it forever. But we will miss you. And we'll see you guys next week. No.